Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Fun with History. Today we will be discussing about the American Revolution. Boston was the center of rebellion against the British. English troops were stationed around colonies. 5 Americans were killed by the troops. The Boston Massacre led to an outcry. People wanted to break with England. Representatives from all over the colonies met in Philadelphia to discuss the growing problem with England. Some wanted independence while some wanted peace with England. Tensions continued to rise throughout the colonies. Patriots knew onto a ship in the Boston harbor and threw all stock tea overboard. This made the British furious and closed the harbor. This enraged Americans even more. On April the 19th, 1775, the shot heard round the world occurred. Paul Revere had written all-night warning Americans he was famous for, the British are coming. American troops were gathered against British in Lexington. No one knows who shot first. This started the American Revolution. There was another fight in Concord later. The Continental Congress was assembled again. They appointed George Washington to be the commander of the Continental Army. Troops were gathered for war. Some Americans did not want to revolt and they were loyal to the British Crown. They were known as Loyalists. Patriots were those who wanted to break with England. At the Siege of Boston, the Continental Army kicked the British out. In the Battle of New York, the British won. Washington was on the run with the army. On January 1776, Thomas Paine publishes Common Sense. Paine called for complete independence from Britain and the royal brute. It inspired thousands of Americans. Patrick Henry was famous for "Give me liberty or give me death." On July the 4th, 1776, the Declaration of Independence is ratified. It was written by Thomas Jefferson. It declared America independent from England. It was not just a war over taxes but a complete break from the mother country. England was not ready to give up her colonies. The war continued for 8 years. The war lasted from 1775 to 1783. Continental Army took control of Boston after British had the seized city. Washington chased by the British troops to New York. He lost badly and needed to retreat. The army retreated to Pennsylvania. On December the 25th, 1776, Washington made a surprise attack on Trenton. Washington crosses the Delaware in the middle of night. He defeated the Hessian army. This was a major victory for the Continental Army. Washington took the troops back to Pennsylvania to wait out winter. There were horrible conditions. There were little clothing, starving men, and no shoes. Washington served in the French and Indian War. He observed the Indians fighting. He taught American troops to do the same. One tactic was guerrilla warfare. The troops hid in bushes, trees, and attacked the British as they marched. They did fight not on open battlefield. This was a huge victory for the Americans. Benjamin Franklin was in France trying to convince the French to get involved. The French wanted a big victory. They sent troops, commanders, supplies after this battle. This was the last major battle of war. General Cornwallis surrendered to General Washington. America was now free. On September 3, 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed. The treaty ended the war. Well, that is the end of our show, and thank you for watching. Join us next week when we'll be discussing about the Declaration of Independence. Be kind to one another. Bye bye.